Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Faith and Fandom Feedback Friday. This is Hector with a live stream of news and such for Friday morning. This is going to be a short one just because life be lifing and I gotta be going pretty quickly today. Actually recording the pull list right after this and then heading to do some office work, then DJing a uh trunk or treat and then driving to Savannah for a Comic-Con. So it is a chunky day of uh shenanigans and adventures. So no complaints. It's just, a lot going on. So let's jump into the news so that I can be prompt and judicious with our time together. Oh, it's a day, y'all. It's a day. Hope y'all are doing well. I hope things are kind of being where they're supposed to be in terms of what's going on in your worlds and that you're able to find some encouragement and peace where you are. And try and go over some news and yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna cash you. All right. First up, if you are a fan of theme parks and nerd stuff, the Mario World for Universal Studios Orlando or Super Nintendo World. Uh Tristan, I enjoy our time together too. Um the Super Mario World will be opening at Universal Orlando on May 22nd, 2025. So we've got about we got about 8 months before Mario World opens. So if you're of girthier nature like me, it's a good time for you to go ahead and drop some pounds so that you can fit on the Mario rides because it's a good life choice. They'll also be adding the Power Line ride to Disney in the near future. So this is once again a good reminder for girthy friends. Prepare yourself for roller coaster shape. You don't want to you don't want to be late for that because I know I don't. Uh, one of the things that has been all over the internet this week is Andrew Garfield sat down with Elmo to have a conversation about losing his mom and missing his mom, and it's exactly as heartwarming and tear felt as it sounds. So if you are in the place of you want some emo feelings and want to discuss loss and missing people and things like that, make sure you check out the clip with Andrew Garfield and Elmo because it is all those things and more. On the Andrew Garfield note, Andrew Garfield also publicly came out in the last week that he thinks Mel Gibson deserves a second chance to be able to create without bias and judgment in Hollywood. That he said he's a real empathetic guy and that there's a lot of redemption and process for him and that he deserves a second chance and that we should be a little quicker to give it to him. So yeah, Garfield, who is always kind of outspoken in terms of kindness and such, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. If you're a wrestling fan, Michael Cole confirms that he will be the Raw commentator once WWE gets to Netflix in January. So if you are a fan of Michael Cole, um, you have this opportunity. And if you're a fan of the fantastic Samantha Irvin, you've had a rough week. Because as of Monday, Samantha Irvin officially announced the end of her time with WWE. If none of these names mean anything to you, Samantha Irvin is the ring announcer for WWE for the last hot minute. And she is a force of nature and she's a presence unto herself. And she just watching her announce matches is better than some of the matches she announces. So it was a real blow to hear her depart. On a positive-ish note to that terms, the OG announcer from like my high school days, Lillian Garcia, is back to take her place. So if you're gonna get anybody to announce, Lillian's a solid choice, but I genuinely kind of mourn the loss of Samantha Irvin being present in a crazy turn of historical events. Uh an ancient tomb containing the remains of 12 ancient skeletons uh was found beneath the place they filmed Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Uh they dug deeper into one of the places where they filmed Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and they actually found a hidden tomb and 12 bodies. So they took an Indiana Jones film location and actually were able to unearth a giant archaeological mystery. Way to go, Indy. Because way to turn your fiction into reality because that's pretty fresh. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty neat to be able to have that as a claim to fame. It's like, by the way, our movie location found a ancient geological dig. Merry Christmas. This past week, Hush 2 was announced. Hush is one of the greatest graphic novels of all time. And the story of Hush is actually what got me back reading comics after a almost 15-year hiatus. It's probably not that long. It's probably like 8 years. Either way, the story of Hush is what got me back to reading comics. It was 10 years because it was the the Spider Clone saga in the 90s to Hush. Um, but Hush 2 has been announced with um Jeff Loeb writing, Scott Williams, and Jim Lee doing the art again. So it is a true sequel to one of the greatest graphic novels of all time. Um, and that will be dropping in a prequel to it will be, or a prelude to it will be dropping on November 7th in Justice League Unlimited #1. But we're going to be able to look forward to that next year in 2025. So if you are a fan of comics, it's a good time to be alive for that purpose alone. If you haven't read Hush, go pick it up. You can get it in a million formats. Do me a favor, don't watch the animated film because that's not what you need. In the past few weeks, North Korea has blown up bridges, roads, and connection pieces between North Korea and South Korea. Now, in the past week, there is video footage showing 12,000 North Korean troops being sent to the Ukraine, being loaded up uh, to go fight for Russia in the Ukraine. And this is the type of stuff that really does put the World War III type of conversation into the discussion, but it's a real thing. Um, and the Harvey Awards happened recently, which is, an art award, a comics award, in general. Uh, and Delicious in Dungeon uh, won for best manga. Yeah, Delicious in Dungeon managed to pull a surprise victory over Frieren and Witch Hat, which were dominating the category. But Delicious in Dungeon officially took best manga, and I'm not surprised because it's a masterpiece and I love it. I haven't read the manga, no lie, but I fully intend to at some point, but I'm happy just marinating in the goodness that is Delicious in Dungeon. I also wore my first Delicious in Dungeon cosplay for a whole 9 hour day last weekend. That was a feat. McDonald's has been healthy in the news, so to speak, this week with former President Trump stopping to air quote work at a McDonald's as he was serving French fries and things of that nature. And while that's all good for a soundbite and everything else, then the within a day or so, and this isn't funny, but within a day or so, oh, Tristan, you're a free run fan. So is Timmy, the dude who edits my books, and so I don't think he was happy about that. Um, but I'm telling you, Delicious in Dungeon is the place to be. Tristan said he wasn't. He was just wasn't a little. He Tristan said he was a little disappointed. He's a free run fan. Um, well, to be honest, I didn't know until this year that their Harvey Awards covered graphic novels, and I just found that out because Delicious in Dungeon won. Um, but former President Trump served French fries, made jokes, et cetera, et cetera. But then within a week, there was an E. coli breakout at McDonald's, completely unrelated, but not in terms of media coverage. There's an E. coli outbreak specifically connected to the Quarter Pounder and its onions that has left many people sick and at least one dead. Um, my father uh, had a my father's life, long term was ended because of a foodborne bacteria like E. coli, and it's a scary thing for it to happen to people. So just say this. Stephen Colbert had a big week this week. The With New York Comic Con taking place, Stephen Colbert uh had a official Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim poster um that was made of him looking like a Lord of the Rings character that you could get at New York City Comic Con. And also during a panel at New York City Comic Con, Peter Jackson zoomed in to try and hit Stephen Colbert with the hardest uh, Lord of the Rings trivia question he knew, and Colbert absolutely dominated it, proving that he is the biggest Lord of the Rings nerd on the planet, which I'm glad it's him, if it's anybody. And super nerd news, Oda, the creator of One Piece, seems to have extended and crafted his storyline for One Piece to make a Loki reference. In the Loki TV series, Loki is variant number L1130. In Loki, his variant number is L1130. In One Piece, chapter 1130, the character of Loki is revealed. And people are questioning, did this man literally stretch out the storyline just to be able to do a low key Loki reference? And it looks that way. Um, this past week, Tom Hardy met Todd McFarlane for the first time, as Todd McFarlane crashed an interview for Tom Hardy for Venom, and they had a conversation. And Todd McFarlane said that he was really pleased with Tom Hardy's performance as Venom. I don't know that I would have ever really believed that, but he at least said it for the cameras, and that's nice. One of the first big casting villains for the DCU has been announced. Uh Cirque, who's a witch in the DCU, who typically is reserved as a Wonder Woman villain, um, is officially been cast with Anya Shalatra. She's the lady who plays um John says hearty yes. The rest of the film, nope. Yeah. Don't throw any spoilers at me if you watched it, John. Um, but Cirque has been cast by the lady who plays the main female character in The Witcher. She's going to be playing Cirque in the animated version and in the live action version. So we have our first official big DC villain casting um coming up with that. What's the lady's name from The Witcher? What's she called? But she's the witch who got pretty and Gerald goes to a lot. Deadpool and Wolverine has officially become the 12th highest grossing film of all time, domestically passing Barbie. So in terms of America, Deadpool and Wolverine is officially more popular than Barbie. And in that, Daredevil Born Again has officially been slated and announced that it will premiere on March 4th on Disney Plus. You can also read the full series synopsis where it also lists all the actors who are present. Um, um, a Senator Lydia Thorpe um, verbally accosted King Charles in the monarch's address to the Great Hall um, because she says, "You're not my king." Uh, she's an Aboriginal Australian, and she says that her land, her residency, her kingdom was stolen, and that he's a thief, and et cetera, et cetera. But she came into his address to interrupt to say that. Um, and I literally never knew the whole how much of the colonizing concept of England took place until I watched Doctor Who and learned how big of a concept that is with pop culture because America never talks about that. Um, we won the fight, so we don't talk about how things were anywhere else. But dang it, people seem to be real upset about that, and I get it. Um, Blade has officially been removed from the Marvel timeline in terms of film releases for 2025, um, making the line in Deadpool and Wolverine seem more and more poignant every day. The modern master of horror storytelling, Mike Flanagan, who's responsible for Haunting of Hill House, and all of the other Netflix scary shows like Midnight Mass, is now going to be switching streaming services to produce a live action TV series of Carrie over at Amazon. So what he's done for Netflix, he's going to be doing for Carrie or first Amazon over with Carrie. Pokemon, yeah, John says the Blade news hurt. Yeah, and but I don't know that we're not going to get Blade, but then again, we could not get Blade. Um, Pokemon and Crocs have officially released a line of shoes together with a Snorlax shoe, a Gengar shoe, a Jigglypuff shoe, and a Charizard shoe, which are all Foot Locker exclusives. You can head into your local Foot Locker, or you can, sorry, I did not turn that down. You can head into your local Foot Locker, or you can find them on Foot Locker online, but they are Foot Locker exclusives. They look pretty dope, actually. I would rock that, especially the Snorlax shoe. That's happening. Doot and do. Uh, the Chick-fil-A streaming service that had been announced has now officially been named Chick-fil-A Play. Um, I'm not gonna get them, but I would wear them, John. But the Chick-fil-A streaming service called Chick-fil-A Play is officially launching on November 18th. So you are less than a month away from the absolutely not anticipated Chick-fil-A streaming service. Um, Tom Holland this week officially confirmed on the Jimmy Fallon show that Spider-Man 4 is happening and they're going to start filming next year. Um, that it's officially taking place. Uh, tonight or this past week, in a just weird turn of events, as someone who's been watching the story of Eminem fold since the 90s, Eminem introduced former President Barack Obama at a rally. And if you'd have just told me ever that Eminem's going to be introducing presidents at things, I would have called shenanigans. But also during Obama's speech, he starts quoting "Lose Yourself" and rapping "Lose Yourself" to much applause. So if you if you thought Eminem introducing Obama or Obama rapping Eminem lyrics at a national convention was ever off the table, you're wrong because it absolutely happened this week. Uh, Jack Black this week was able to induct Ozzy Osbourne into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I have, I'm always concerned with um the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions because I'll hear about people getting inducted and I think, oh, that's cool. They should be inducted. But then I'll find out other people haven't been inducted yet. The fact that Dolly Parton and Eminem made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Ozzy Osbourne is bananas to me. Just saying. I know we're only a week away from Halloween, or actually less than a week away from Halloween. But in case you're feeling vibey and festive, Tadashi, Christian hip hop artist Tadashi, um, who some of y'all know I have personal beef with. Beefing with a rapper, yes. Um, but Tadashi, Christian hip hop artist, drops his Christmas album "Tis the Season" today. So if you need a new Christian hip hop album, there's one out. If you need other Christian Christmas hip hop, let me know. I've got plenty to recommend. Um, the next Hunger Games prequel has officially been titled and synopsed. It is Sunrise on. Oh, Tristan, you already listened to it? Great, dude. Um, scale of 1 to 10, what's it like? Um, but Sunrise on the Reaping is the next Hunger Game prequel novel, and that is coming out. Daredevil is officially getting the Old Man Logan treatment in comic books with the Daredevil Cold Day in Hell storyline that will be dropping in Marvel in the near future. Do 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 do. The E. coli outbreak from McDonald's, just by the way, um, has a Tristan says it's about a 9 out of 10 for the Tadashi Christmas album. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Oh, also, Ren Collective drops a new album called Folk today. So you've got Christian hip hop Christmas and folk that are on the table for Christian music offerings. The E. coli outbreak was also centered in Colorado, Nebraska, Utah, Wyoming, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, Montana, and Oregon are the places where the E. coli outbreak has been noted from McDonald's. This week, LeVar Burton was given the National Humanities Medal, which LeVar Burton's just going to get all the medals. In a tragic story that has been reported this week, a like it's in that region, the Midwest to North uh west is where that it is a lot. But like I'm saying there's not like East Coast cases of it so far. Um there's a young man uh who is the son of a woman named Megan Garcia, a 14-year-old boy this week. Or not this week, it was months ago. But she started making public announcements about it this week in TV appearances that Megan Garcia's 14-year-old son, uh, Sewell Setzer, um, committed suicide, um, over a love relationship with an chat AI bot. Um, that he had begun and proceeded to have a sexual and emotional relationship with a chat AI bot. And it got to the point where it was out of hand for him. And even to the point of suggesting that the chat AI bot suggested that he end his life. So um, over, she's suing over this, um, and making it aware of it. Um, this week, also, it's been announced that Good Omens season three will not be a season three. With the allegations and the things swirling around Neil Gaiman, they are going to, and rather than completely shelve Good Omens season three, they're going to turn Good Omens season three into a one episode finale slash movie, um, a 90-minute story to give Crowley and Aziraphale an ending. This week, Agatha All Along episodes 8 and 9 will both air on October 30th. The two episode finale will air then. Uh, Channing Tatum has made some surprise appearances in Western North Carolina after the Hurricane Helene damage to do relief work. He's in Charlotte, like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, filming a movie called Roofman. Um, and but he's been going to do some recovery work there. And also because of Netflix, the Menendez brothers may be eligible for parole almost immediately. Um, yeah. Venom 2 is going to have Venom Last Dance will have two post-credit scenes. And let's see, anything else? Really need to hit before I bounce. The Office is getting a new remake. If you're aware, the Australian remake of The Office is just getting started. And now there's also a South American version that is coming. And this week, um, uh, Amazon and MGM Studios announced that Mexico, is going to be getting their own version of The Office as well. Um, I announced last week that there's a biblical epic of the story of Mary that is going to be coming to Netflix, and that Anthony Hopkins is in it. Found out this week that the movie is executive produced by Joel Olstein. So that's going to be fun. Um, Deion Sanders is fighting the idea that having a chaplain for his college football team is unconstitutional. This past week, Snoop Dogg said that God was in the building after a voice contestant led them in worship. Uh, Now in Dubai, India, if you get lost in the desert, there's actually an Uber camel service where a camel rider will come get you if you get lost near the deserts of Dubai, India. And that's it, y'all. That's the news for the week. I am heading off to Savannah Georgia for a Comic-Con tonight after DJing. I'm going to get to Savannah at like midnight, then have a con at 8 a.m. Right now, I'm about to hop off here and record the Pull List podcast, so I will not have the devotional today, but hopefully be able to bring that back real soon. It's an honor and a privilege to get to start the morning off with you, and thank y'all for caring. Thank you for listening and for being all the encouragement that you are. And I'll see you soon.